Hey mamas, namaste, happy Friday. It is snowing here today, and so I'm in my fuzzy, warm, white, winter white attire to really embody this restful, peaceful energy that I feel every time it snows here. And I'm really excited to connect with you today. I want to talk about a topic that is very close to home and very important to me, and absolutely is vital to every single mama on the planet, and especially the ones like you who are interested in nourishing your mindfulness, your soul, really stepping into your best and fullest version. And that is the topic of healing, and how healing and mindfulness are two wings of the same bird. They go hand in hand, and how without the one, you don't have the other. So I'm going to give everyone a moment to pop on here. I'm going to tap into my group on Facebook so that I can read the comments. Let me know if you're here. Put your favorite emoji in the comments. Say hello. If you are catching this late, hashtag replay, and let me know when you get here. Let me know how you guys are doing. What is the weather like where you are? Here it's snowing. We've been getting a lot of really sweet snows that are just covering the earth and making it really beautiful, but where the roads aren't, treacherous to drive through and stuff like that, which is nice because we've had some pretty insane winters here in the past, and this year it's pretty graceful so far, so it's nice. All right, here we are. So I want to talk to you about healing and mindfulness. And healing for me it is my life, it is my soul, it is my profession. It's what I've been on the planet trying to figure out pretty much my whole life after I got out of childhood. And through that process of, almost 18 years at this point, I'm 34. I've really been diving as deep as possible and having no excuses, absolutely nothing, allowing nothing to get into my way when it comes to healing myself, healing my heart and my soul, and then helping others do the same thing. So I've been working professionally as a healer through attuning to and figuring out my soul's calling a long time ago, for over a decade now. And I find that every single person I work with, because a lot of the other extras that I teach, the techniques that I teach, you could put under the umbrella of mindfulness, being yoga, meditation, sound healing, prioritizing yourself, journaling, reading, all the things that nourish your soul, and help you stay present in the be present in the moment that you have right now versus worrying about the future, thinking about the past. And as a mom, I find that, or let me go back. So I find that every client that I've ever had, the reason that they come back for more is because they haven't fully healed the things within them. And I will say that healing, to me, in my experience, I've been doing it for so long that it's never really a journey that ends. But I think that a lot of people misunderstand how yoga can serve you or how meditation can serve you, because you can practice these things, these amazing, amazing things every single day of your life and still get nowhere and find no progress because you're not going into the deeper self and healing, addressing the things that need to be healed and healing them. So people with serious anxiety issues, or and let me know if you can relate to what I'm saying right now in the comments. People with major anxiety or major depression, things like that so many people carry. I myself have dealt with that for a really long time. Thank God I'm not in the place I used to be, but I was in a very just ridden by anxiety and depression for years before. And it's you can sit there and force yourself, I'll be real, to meditate, make yourself think that you've got to sit in this quiet space. And how do you get to this space of nothingness? Well, I'll tell you that if you can get there, then you don't need to meditate. But the reason that meditation exists is to try to get to that state. So like if you get to a space where you can just pop into nothingness at any time, you would have no need for meditation and you would be the Buddha, right? And that space is within us, but we as human beings, spirits in human vessels, get glimmers of that when we meditate and when we nourish ourselves. But it's temporary. Everything is temporary. And truth be told, that if you don't go into the deeper layers, like doing meditation, doing yoga, there are ways to access deeper levels of yourself through that. But if I'm honest, most of the people that I work with stay on the surface of those practices. So they're not holding space for the deep work, for the shadow work, for the soul work in a way that really just blasts through like dynamite those walls and those barriers of trauma, of pain, of fear, etc. That's actually holding them back from being their most mindful self and being able to face anything that comes up as a mother, as a wife, as a lover, as a woman, as a CEO of your business or an entrepreneur, or as someone who's aspiring to be an entrepreneur but keeps making up excuses for why they're not going in to their soul calling and are working these jobs that they hate or doing things with their life that just drain their energy and make them feel like shit every single day. And then they go and they do yoga or they meditate and then they come back or they get the massage. Like I've been a massage therapist for almost 10 years and I am really, really good at what I do. And I know that. I have hands of gold and I wish to God that I could massage myself. However, I will say that the clients keep coming back because they're feeling the same. It's like the massage gives them this yumminess for a moment, but they come back every time like, ugh, just heavy and feeling all of this burden around their life. And that is because the deeper layers that need to be accessed, acknowledged, broken through, healed, are not being accessed, acknowledged, broken through, and healed. So how this impacts your mindfulness practice is that really until you choose to heal yourself in a way where you're basically getting gut-wrenchingly present with the pain, with the trauma, with the things causing the anxiety and depression, which could be from, specific things in adulthood, could be from childhood, could be from conception, could be from past lives, like depending on where your belief systems are and your connection with yourself. This pain and trauma comes from all different places. And so it's like this onion of your soul, that you have to peel back layer by layer, and you have to really, really choose intentional mindfulness and intentional work around this onion of pain. It's like when you chop an onion and it makes you cry, it's that thing that just makes you uncomfortable. It burns your eyes, it burns your body, whatever. But the onion itself is so nourishing and is so good. And as you peel back and you get into the meat of that onion, the juice of that onion, it's actually a huge healing process and component to nourish your body and your soul. And I am totally riffing and channeling right now, so go with me with my examples. But let me know if this is landing for you and resonating for you. Let me know if you are somebody who, has tried all the things in your opinion. Like you've done so much work around yourself. You've read all the books, like you meditate as much as you can. You practice yoga, or maybe you've never practiced yoga, but you're like feeling this pull in your heart all the time. Like, yeah, I need to do that, but I don't. It's like, why? Look at why haven't you done it yet? Or why are you doing these things and not fully getting the results that you want? Have you stepped up on a deeper level to heal yourself? And that's where I feel that I can come in for you, because until you have that support and that method or that space to try to go as deep as possible, that's outside of those surface layers of like getting the massage or like I said, yoga, Reiki, meditation. Reiki can work, but there's a space with Reiki. I feel that you have to have something else that's underneath that. And then Reiki is amazing for energy work. But there's deeper things that have to be healed when it comes to trauma, deeper methods that have to be used to heal the trauma. And then Reiki is like the thing that sustains it and keeps it going throughout your life. So let me know if this is something you've done. Like, what have you done to try to heal yourself? Are you somebody who feels like you have been stuck in a place for so long, but you know that you're meant for more? You know that there is so much more to yourself, your purpose here, and you have a feeling of what it is, you know? Or maybe you don't, but it's right there, like on the tip of your tongue, yet something's still holding you back. And like, I'm going to be pretty blunt with you right now. For most people, that straight up is that they're not facing their shit. They're not getting real with themselves and getting raw, and they're not willing to get to that level of uncomfortability to heal themselves. And so yeah, that's like the meat and potatoes of what I wanted to talk about. And I think I want to like back end this with buffer this with a little bit of my story, which is something I'm so open and happy to talk about with anyone and everyone. I'm pretty much an open book, but my healing journey came from things from my conception. I was adopted as an infant. I had 2 months before I was adopted. And I was never held by my biological mother. I went straight into like a foster care system. And obviously I don't remember what happened to me or what that was like. But if you can think of a baby, we as mothers, if you can think of a baby and the needs of an infant, of a newborn baby, as well as the mom, it's like you need to be held the second you are put into this physical world, because your birth is trauma. Giving birth is trauma, and being born is trauma, as well as dying. It's like they say being born and dying are the two most traumatic things. And obviously we know giving birth is pretty hardcore and beautiful, but hardcore. But I never got held. So I had abandonment issues. And then I was adopted into a family which gave me like this weird space of like the best life ever, but I also had a lot of abuse. And, so I had a lot of stuff that I carried all of my life that I didn't understand where it came from. And it took me seriously what has felt like a lifetime so far, like almost my whole lifetime so far at 34, to figure out and navigate through and heal. And I tried everything. I have tried absolutely everything. And there was one thing that absolutely shifted and changed my entire life. And that was the medicine wheel. And going through the medicine wheel, being held by by initiates and shamans in South America, where I experienced this for the first time. And I went through it for a month. And then I went through it again and again and again. And then I was initiated, and now I offer it in my program, Mindful Mama. And the reason I'm doing this is because it works. It's the only thing that I've ever experienced in my whole life that absolutely gets every aspect of your holistic being. So it hits your spiritual, your mental, your emotional, and your physical. It's not just on the physical layer. It's not just on the mental layer. Like, if there is anything that can crack open every ounce of your shadow self from at any point in your existence of where you hold trauma, it is the medicine wheel. And so this is what I offer. It's a 6-week program in Mindful Mama. So it's like you're going through a little bit longer of a space inside the wheel than even what I did, because I know how important it is. And as moms, it's like you don't have the ability to just jet off to South America and, forget your life here for a month or longer and go do these things. So you can do these things in your real life with me. I'm here to hold you and help you through these things, through the process. And the great thing about the medicine wheel is that you don't have to be There's no one way through it. So you don't have to fill in any certain criteria with your pain or expect to experience a specific route to get to your healing. It's very unique for each person. It's basically like when you are called in to the wheel, and when you call the wheel into your heart, from that moment, everything shifts, everything changes. And I can assure you, I have never been the same since I endeavored through the wheel. And I use it through every season of my life now. You're constantly traveling the wheel once you start it. I'm going to check this comment. What is the best way? Great, Nicole. So yeah, the other thing I wanted to say, thank you for reminding me, is that healing and mindfulness and how they feed one another and how they are two wings of the same bird is like, I still have a therapist. You still need to go to therapy. I think everyone should be on the whole planet. I don't think that there's really a reason not to, because talking to someone neutral in that way is always good. I have an energy worker, I have a therapist, I have a massage therapist, I have a coach, mindset coach, I have a business coach. So like, I have all these things that I use to help nourish myself in all the ways that I need it. And I have energy workers. I have a shaman that's like, I can call them by phone or email. There's a monk in India that I still work with. These people that, for me, I have found that without them, I get off balance and I'm not my best self. And that's because you need the support there. You need to be held by someone else. And as mothers, we're just constantly giving. I hear this all the time. People are constantly giving as mothers. And then you feel like, when do I have the time to give to myself? How do I have the time to give to myself? And so like, by investing in therapy, by investing in a program where you are committing to something like that, you're holding yourself accountable. You're automatically creating the space to show up for yourself. If you don't do that, then you're going to drop the ball. You're not going to stay consistent with yourself, with your healing, and with your mindfulness process at all. Ready to deal with all this? Yes. So Nicole, I will say, so there's no one way to do things, but in my experience, after literally almost 20 years of trying to figure all of this out, the medicine wheel is something that it grows with you through every aspect, like every season, every aspect of your pain and every season of your life. So it doesn't matter where the trauma is coming from. Like if it's, let's just go into childhood. If it's specifically childhood trauma, that's an onion in itself. There's going to be multiple layers to that. So if, like your one journey through the wheel may uncover like 6 layers of that trauma, right? And then you could go through it again intentionally, however long later, and be able to keep healing. And as I was saying earlier, how the wheel just it's like you're always running on this wheel, like a hamster wheel, except you're not running in a dead end. You're just like flowing and expanding as you keep running on this wheel. And really what it's going to do for you is nourish you constantly, because the wheel never stops spinning. It's like once you go through the wheel, you build this connection with it and this understanding through source and yourself and your soul, that you're able to identify what cycle of the wheel you're in at this given point of your life. And like, I literally can talk to people for 30 seconds to a couple minutes. My husband hears it all the time. I'm like, oh, you are so in the serpent cycle right now. Or I'm so in the jaguar cycle right now. Like, this is something that it's just with you all the time. And so I basically, like, I would say going through the wheel would be my recommendation, aside from going to therapy and all the other things in mindfulness practice that I talk about, have taught in the past, and will continue to teach in the future and offer, are things that are necessary to keep you going and keeping you accountable. But they aren't going to just, break through those deeper layers. There's no way that they can, because they're surface practices to a certain degree. So yeah, let me know how this is landing for all of you. And I'm super excited. I have to run because I can hear my son waking up. He's on nap time, so that was like my window to be able to connect with you. But I do want to let you all know that I am offering a masterclass on the medicine wheel on February 27th. So this is basically, if you're interested in my Mindful Mama program, but you have no idea what the medicine wheel is like, and I'm talking about it, but it's not giving you enough information, this masterclass is a class that's going to teach you like the how, the what, the why, and the where of what the medicine wheel is, so that you can understand it before you walk through it. And so that's going to be February 27th. It's going to be on a live Zoom call. And next week is when I'm opening the doors for you to be able to sign up for that. So, you can't today, but you can very soon. So next week for sure, I'm going to be popping on a live to let you know when it goes, when the doors open for that, to get into that class. If you cannot attend on February 27th, if you sign up, it'll be available for you, with the replay video. It'll be a private video. It's not live here in our group. You have to sign up in order to get the Zoom code and everything to take the class. But if you can't attend it live, you can still catch it in your email to have access to it at any time. So yeah, I would highly recommend taking this masterclass. It's going to be so good. I've been doing so much preparation around this and dying to teach this to everyone. And now that everything for me has come full circle as a mother, it's like I'm not single Tiffany living my own life, living out of a backpack, flying all over the world whenever I want. I have tangible, real responsibilities. I'm very grounded here because I'm a mom. But I have come full circle in understanding and learning how to apply all the things that I gained before and just accessed in my soul before I was a mother, and now I figured out how to put them into motherhood and give them to all of you. So the Medicine Wheel Masterclass is the first thing that I'm doing in order to share this with you. And then obviously Mindful Mama, the program, if you're really ready to just dive in and go into it, that's the place you can actually experience the wheel. So yeah, let me know. So Nicole, that's some of the stuff that I'll be talking about when I do this masterclass in a couple weeks in February, about how you can get through these blocks, because there are ways to do that. I had the exact same thing. Mine was around abandonment. I had no idea that I had that. I had absolutely no clue, and I didn't have a clue of how much it was impacting everything else in my life, with my relationships, with my ability to trust, with my anxiousness, all the things. Oh my gosh, it was wild. But when I finally figured that out and cracked that egg, and it was during the medicine wheel that I did that. But when I finally got there, it's like then all of the blocks just kind of lifted off very quickly, because I was able to just feel all those things. And it really is just a breath of fresh air once you get in there. So yeah, I highly recommend it. And I can't wait to give it to all of you and share it with all of you. So the masterclass is the first way to do that. And as I said in the beginning, without healing these deeper layers of yourself, you will not be getting the results that you crave and desire through your mindfulness practice. And you definitely won't be showing up in your fullest self, in your highest self, and really living your soul's calling and feeling fulfilled until you heal the blocks and the things within you that are stuck. And just, it's like it's part of your purpose to go through those things and heal those things, so that you can live at this in this amazing space. That's when manifestation really works on your side. It's like you'll never be done healing aspects of you, but when you get through some of the heavy stuff that's been stuck with you all of your life since childhood, for example, then you're able to, or like mama trauma, I talk about this a lot. It's a really big and close thing to my heart. When you get through those things, or at least when you start knocking on the door, opening it, and like seeing like, hey, this specific thing is what I need to address, everything shifts and will start changing for you. And then your manifestation practices, along with your mindfulness practice, just, oh my gosh, it'll skyrocket your life. That's all there is to it. So yeah, I will be back next week to connect with you, and I'm so excited for this masterclass. I hope that you all sign up and get in this class with me. It's going to be amazing with everything I've prepared, and obviously I'm always sharing my intuitive downloads through all of it. So I love you all. I have to run. My son is screaming. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's like singing and screaming that he's here. So I love you all. Let me know how this lands for you. DM me with any questions that you have regarding the masterclass if you do. All the info will be out next week where you can sign up, and I'll talk to you later. Have a beautiful weekend. Namaste.